I am from Jamaica.
I live in Moscow.
I'm from El Salvador.
Kyrgyzstan,
Lithuania,
St. Lucia,
Jamaica. Situation in Jamaica for LGBT people is particularly complex.
Men get beaten, women are belittled, sometimes raped.
In St. Lucia on the ground, I would say the most pressing issue would be empowerment, because there are lots of violations happening, but people are not empowered to, one, recognize those violations, and number two, to seek help.
we felt that escalation of violence and the way how this violence is happening, it's become worse. Any activities regarding to propaganda bill, it's happening with a huge wave of negative information. Can you imagine living in this country all the time in the risk of being punished by other people?
When the notorious law came into force a few years ago, kids, teens, teenagers, do not have any possibility to understand who they are. The amount of suicide, unfortunately, was increased also.
Currently, we have the homosexual propaganda law in place. We are effectively prevented from working with LGBT youth. The young people who are facing identity questions, or identity challenges, and especially if they're living in the socially hostile environment, it must be pretty tough for them.
In particular, El Salvador, it is really dangerous. We don't have any kind of policies. We don't have any kind of law to protect LGBTQI community. We don't have a no typification of hate crimes. So we are with zero protection.
The buggery law is such an obvious thing, but in St. Lucia there's also the gross indecency law, which criminalizes same-sex intimacy between women or persons of the same sex.
The buggery law we inherited from our colonial masters. What that law has done to the community is essentially tell the country that homosexuality is wrong.
And that therefore we should remove LGBT people, or that they do not belong here. I think one of the most important things that the US government can do for the LGBT community and the LGBT activists in Jamaica, as well as just globally, is to talk about these issues, provide a space for the LGBT advocacy movement.
Be cognizant that people do not like to be told what to do. So in your policies, in your programs, have the conversation with those on the ground.
I think the future is we have many young activists who bring the new ideas, the new concept, the new initiatives to the movement.
Just support our activists and respond to their requests.
Sometimes we would like for them to be less politically correct and more direct, but it's okay, we understand the deal. Having the conversation between democratic nations, both our nations play on the right side of the history. It just takes time to get better.
We have a very little understanding, not enough understanding, I would say, of human rights generally in St. Lucia. Make them understand the concept of human rights itself, and then extend that to the LGBT or to sexuality as well.
We are here, actually I'm here, to speak out and say to this society, the ones who are giving money and giving funds to my country, that we must be really aware in what we are working with.
What happens and what works in America may not work in the Caribbean in the same way. We need hearts and minds to be changed, and I think that's part of what we're trying to do.
So Angeline Jackson is a global activist, but more than anything, she cares about her Jamaica and making it a place where everybody, no matter their color or their class or their sexual orientation, can live in equality and opportunity. That's the power of one person, what they can do.